Get ready for spring with the Home Depot and bring bright, colorful energy inside with projects to make your whole home feel like spring. Like livening your living spaces with a fresh coat of Behr Premium Plus paint starting at $28.98 for durable coverage in fun, vibrant colors for your walls and ceilings. It's never too early to start the season. There's a project you can tackle to get your home ready for spring, inside and out with the Home Depot. How doers get more done. In-store only. Product varies by store while supplies last.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Our next guest has a big project about to drop on HBO Max. It debuts tomorrow. And when I say big, I mean it in so many ways, from the size 22s to the larger-than-life personality. SHAQ, Dream Big, hitting HBO Max tomorrow. And our guest, Robert Alexander, who directed this 4-part docuseries, is our guest. What is going on, Robert? How are you, bro?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm excellent. I was actually on the set a couple of days shooting at SHAQ's, or you were shooting. I was just sitting there twiddling my thumbs, watching you do your magic at SHAQ's house in Georgia. What a canvas, though, in the backdrop at his house there in the gym.
Yeah, it was great. It just worked out perfectly. It was a great location. It felt like him. It felt really good. So it was a lot of fun. I mean, it's just an honor to honestly be in his presence in his home and have these honest conversations. It was really special.
Did you guys shoot any other locations outside of his home in Atlanta?
With SHAQ, we shot in another space in Atlanta with SHAQ, but then obviously for all the talent in the film, we kind of shot, all over the place whenever we needed to. I think we shot in New York, LA, Miami, a couple other cities I can't remember. So just wherever we had to go.
I'm impressed, Robert, with your portfolio. You've worked with President Obama, Jay-Z, Kanye, LeBron, I mean, just to name a few. And now the big fella, Shaquille O'Neal. And each of these personalities have a very unique quality that makes them a legend. But I'm curious, what makes Shaquille unique to you in contrast to those personalities that you've worked with?
Well, I think they all share just power that they exude. I think that they also have just a great dedication to being great and being great at being themselves. SHAQ is incredibly unique for his charisma and his presence to make everyone feel engaged, feel connected, to feel like everyone belongs in the space with him. I think that's really unique. A lot of people will come into a space, and I'm the most important person here, and everyone needs to understand that. I think SHAQ's exactly the opposite. I feel like he wants everyone to feel like they have a space with him, and that his greatness is kind of a part of everyone else's. You still obviously look, he's the biggest guy in the room, and you recognize him, and he has this power, and he has this level and this scale, but he also has this ability to engage, unlike anything I've ever seen before.
Yeah, I got a great story. We were traveling overseas to China a few years back, me and the big fella, and you walk in at LAX to a little VIP area. He barely flies commercial anymore, but this was an overseas trip, and they give you a concierge that takes you to the lounge, before you board the flight. And this gal, she ended up going shopping with us. SHAQ bought her a pair of like $300 sunglasses. And then when we get to the lounge, he demands that she sits down and has breakfast with us. And she was just, blushing and so thankful. And she didn't want to disrespect him. A lot of personalities and celebrities don't want the help being, around, which is unfortunate. But he treats the help as if they're the celebrity, like you said.
Yeah. Everyone is saying he's just great. He's just honestly great. And I'm, for a lot of reasons, I'm proud to make this series, this film. But I think one of them is that he is a really great human being, and we need to have more presentation of that in the world.
Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. It's a thing. And now the truth is out there. I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free anytime, anywhere. And each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
I know that the word authentic gets thrown around a lot in SHAQ's camp. So when you're working on this project, what was a moment or topic when you felt things got real and that you were getting authentic, real SHAQ?
He talked about his relationships falling apart, and him being the reason. He was honest about his interaction with Kobe, and he was very honest about that. He was honest about his upbringing and how he saw the world and how he was raised and the discipline that he received from his father. I thought he was very honest about that. I thought he was really honest. I mean, everything. I mean, I thought he was great. But, yeah, I think those were the special moments where, and I'll be honest, he was great at giving me a lot of detail of his life and giving me everything that I asked for to a point. There was one or two instances where he's like, I don't want to say anything about that. And I appreciate that when you have these moments, because I put a lot of work into coming into your life and telling your story, but there's so many details I don't know. Over the course of these films, I learn a lot, but it's also important that you need to be honest with me, and you also need to be honest with me about what you want to say and what you don't want to say. Because I need genuineness to make this of quality, but I also need you to be transparent with me, because we need to have trust and we need to have support of each other, because we're doing this together. I need to be as proud of it as you are. And so when there's those moments where he had to turn off, he was very transparent about that, and I respect it. That's just what you do.
Our guest, Robert Alexander, has put together a brilliant 4-part documentary series that is available on HBO Max, brought to you by HBO Sports, and it debuts tomorrow, something to watch over the holiday season. If I had to say SHAQ has any regrets in his life, I feel like it would be the time that he misses away from his children, because being SHAQ comes with great responsibility. He's constantly juggling all these plates, and I know his kids sat down with you as well. Did you get the sense that if he does have any regrets, that it would be the time missed with the kids?
I think his kids were pretty transparent about that. They really do love their father very much, and he's been a great father and also a great friend to them. But definitely there were some conversations about him just really not being around a lot growing up and feeling like they didn't have his presence, and it took them a long time to get to know him. And he was transparent about that too. And that meant a lot. It meant a lot to have that open conversation, and both his family and children and him were willing to be honest and open about that, and a self-awareness. But I think that's part of the course. I think that comes with being this presence and having this impact on the world, that sacrifices have to be made. But what's great about it is he wants to grow from it, and he has grown from it, and it was great to have him share that with us on camera.
It must have been also great to be able to have the chance to talk to the legendary Pat Riley and Phil Jackson's, their personalities in their own right. Out of the two, who do you feel like was more open and transparent with you, that was more comfortable talking about all this stuff? If you had to choose between Pat or Phil.
I don't know if I could. I don't know. I will say
I'm putting you on the spot here, Robert. I know that, but I'm trying to get the good stuff.
I would say, if I'm super honest, Phil has a way that it seems there's no hesitation. You ask, he just speaks.
He's the Zen master.
He is truly a Zen master. I don't think I think that was the interview I was the most excited for, probably in the whole series, because he truly has that presence, and there's no hesitation. And this is what you've asked me, and here's the most direct answer immediately, like no hesitation in his voice. So that was really special to be a part of.
And I know from being around Shaquille, two of the people that mean the most in his life, obviously his children are right up there, but I know he had to have been happy to honor his late stepfather, Sergeant Philip Harrison. who passed away almost 10 years ago now. And, of course, his mother, Lucille, who I think has been instrumental in sculpting the man that you see today. How do you think those two were honored in this docuseries?
I mean, as much as I can, that was a big priority for me, to learn about Sarge from not only his family, but teammates, Pat, Phil, all referred to Sarge and told great stories about him. It's heartbreaking when you make these films because you can only put so much that you capture in them, and there's so much more depth and greatness that we capture with Sarge. We're incredibly proud of what we included in the film, but he was spectacular, and I was in awe of Lucille. I was in awe of SHAQ's mother, and, you know, I couldn't have been more prouder to make the series than her letting me know that she enjoyed it and it meant a lot to her and she was happy with it. That was honestly, I got to a certain point where that was a pretty important goal for me, because she was the reason SHAQ is spectacular is because that's who his mother is, and she instilled so much of herself and how she looked at the world into him and to his brother and his sisters, and it was an honor. Honestly, it was an honor to be surprised by his mother and how great she was and how spectacular she was to sit and chat with.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
And I'm hoping that you got some sound bites from one of my favorite guys involved in Shaquille's life, Uncle Jerome. How much content did you get from Uncle Jerome, man? He I think he may be the glue. Lucille is the glue, but he's definitely the one applying the glue, if you ask me.
He was phenomenal. I love Uncle Jerome.
Who doesn't?
He's great, and great on camera. He's great in the series. He's really special.
What is a subject or person that you haven't worked with or on? I know that you've worked with so many greats, but is there a subject or person that you haven't worked on or with, or that you'd like to be working with outside of the SHAQ doc? Because this is hopefully going to open. I know you've been working with some big names. Anybody else?
Yeah, I've been super, super lucky. There's a pretty amazing person that I've been a fan of forever that I'm actually blessed that I'm working with right now. I can't say who it is, but that's really spectacular. But I've also been looking forward to, you know, Erykah Badu and Andre 3000 and some other special people out there. I don't know. I mean, I've been super blessed. You know, a lot of the things that I'm able to do, I'm super proud of that. I just want to keep going. But, yeah, of course, and there's always names that emerge. Sometimes it's surprises. That's what's great, too. So I'm open, you know.
Well, I'm super proud of the work that you've put in on this. I'm a big fan of SHAQ. Obviously, he changed my life. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for the big man. And I'm really proud of what I've seen so far, and I can't wait to watch the rest of it as it debuts on HBO Max tomorrow. Finally, I'll ask you, what was the hardest part of doing this SHAQ documentary? What was the most difficult thing?
There's a balance. Just editing. You know, you have to figure out what can fit, what can't fit. There was a lot of great stuff that I was incredibly proud of. Some things inside my control, outside of my control, of having to remove things, shift things, move them around. It's just a natural part of making films. You know, there's a lot of forces that come in on the legal side, on the political side, all that stuff that kind of force some of the edits. But that's just a part of it. You know, it's always going to be a little bit of a headache, but it's also exciting because it gives you new parameters that you can be expressive within. So you just kind of keep cooking and finding a way. But I'm really proud of what we ended up with.
And I know you say that there were some things that ended up on the cutting room floor. I heard you on the interview with Rich Eisen mention that Kobe's family wanted less Kobe in the film. And you don't have to say what specifically they wanted out, but was it a generalization of like, hey, we want less Kobe in this? Or did they say specifically, we want these specific things taken out?
It was overall. It was never about any specific part or section or anything. It was just like an overall act.
And how much Shaq and Kobe do we see in this documentary? Because it is a big part of Shaq's legacy.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, I think I've said this before. It's like we made a Shaq film. This is a film about Shaq. But, yeah, without question, he played with Kobe for 8 years. They won 3 championships together. And it was important for me to make sure that Kobe had the representation of his impact on the game of basketball and on Shaq's success. And so there's definitely a healthy amount of their interaction on the court. It would be a huge mistake not to include that. And so I'm very proud of what retains from their time on the court together.
They've made it so easy now where you can just speak into your remote. So all you have to do, if you have one of these providers, is just hit the record button or the microphone button and say, Shaq, Dream Big, documentary, HBO Max, and boom, there will be Robert Alexander's hard work for you to watch over the holiday season. Thank you so much, Robert, for your time, and best of luck with this documentary and, of course, your next ventures as well. Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.